Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to another review. Admittedly, that opening was a little overboard, but if you watched my last video, you know how frustrated I was with that situation. Little update on that, they did reach back to me and offer me a one-time free of charge repair. But to add insult to injury, they said I would still have to pay shipping. So, didn't really get me any closer, but was at least nice of them to offer. And for someone who might be closer to their plant or one of their service shops, it may work out for them, but not in this case. I went to the old reliable guys at Sweetwater and picked up this. And if you've watched this far and saw the opening, you already know what this is. But I figured to get a general reaction, I'd open this baby on camera. Alright, so what do we got in the box? Well, in true Sweetwater fashion, you get the case candy. Just always welcome from them. Although, I don't see too much in here that I will personally eat, but I'm sure it'll be a good treat for the kids. They also sent a Sweetwater magazine and the manual and cable. And then, of course, the Sweetwater sticker most likely won't go on the amp, but it could go on my toolbox with the rest of the stickers that I have over there. But this is the main thing. This here is the Boss Katana Mkii 100w 212 model. I'm sure by now, being a guitarist, that you have heard all over the place about these specific amps. There are many different variations of this amp. The one that I was considering before this was the Katana Air, which was a small portable one that also came with a wireless transmitter for your guitar. But being that I was having so many problems with the Amplify, I decided to go with a larger model. I did not get the foot controller, but at some point I plan to obtain that. I feel as though that would help greatly, especially making these demo videos for me to be able to switch different channels. But what we have here, very much like the Amplify, this gives you the option to have a bunch of onboard different sounds and tone settings, but it also allows you to plug it in and set your own tone settings, much like the Amplify did. The only difference between this and the Amplify in that regard is that it does not have the app that goes with it to do that with, which is a little unfortunate, but I can deal without that. So, with that, I'm going to get this set up, and then we'll go through some of the sounds. So let's talk a little bit about this particular amp. Just like any basic modeler, it has different effects that you can cycle through between your clean tones, your dirty tones, distorted tones. Plus it has some effects that are built on board. This is even further expanded by the modeler that you can use online by plugging this amp into your computer. Now, I haven't messed around with any of that. I plan to in the future. I've only just gotten this amp, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to play around with it. But so far, I am pretty happy with this. The sounds are a little different than what I'm used to off of the amps that I have used previously, but it has plenty of room to modify the different sounds. And with each voicing, there are 5 different settings on here. Much like you would with most modeling amps, you have an assortment of settings that are on the amp. But this one also has a button for variation, which gives you a variant of each voice, which is only further modeled by messing with the tone controls on here. Another notable feature is the volume controls, which has an overall master volume plus your channel volume for the amplifier itself, giving you the opportunity to roll one off and roll the other one up, making it so you can get the full rounded sound at a lower volume. But this is further added on this particular amp because it also has a preset where you can adjust the wattage output in comparison to the output of the speakers. This is what they call their power control. It has a 0.5 watt, a 50 watt, and the full 100 watt. And just by playing through these at a single volume and switching them, you can tell a difference. Not only in the volume output that is put out, but in the clarity at the lower volumes. Now, it's not a huge difference between the 100 watt and the 0.5 watt. You can tell a big difference, but in between, it's only slight steps, which is nice. But it's to give you the opportunity to play it in different settings, be it that you're playing in concert, in studio, or at home to yourself. It allows you to get the full tonal output of the speakers at a lower wattage. This particular amp also gives you the option of changing how the output of the cab resonance is. This one has 3 settings. There is a vintage, a modern, and a deep. I have so far played most of the stuff on the modern setting, although I have switched through, and you can tell a slight difference depending on which voicing you've chosen to play through. For me, I like to keep things simple, so I'm probably just going to keep it on the modern until I can mess around with presets and design my own tones for the preset banks, which this one has 4 channel controls. So you can have 4 regular presets plus another control for the panel, which will bring you back to the presets that are directly what's on the knobs themselves. This particular amp also has a myriad of in and out for effect loops, recording, plugging foot pedals in, and a USB out to plug into the computer, which gives you a myriad of customizable opportunities. Overall, so far I am impressed with this amp. I like the way it sounds, and I can't wait to dig further into it. I honestly never thought I'd be this excited about a Boss product since I started playing, because Boss has always been kind of known for having a cheaper, more budget-friendly model. Now, we all had our Boss pedals, the Metal Zone, the Distortion. I've had them too, and they are great workhorses. I used mine for very long periods of time, but when you go to their tone banks and other things of that nature, they weren't the highest end, even though they would give you a lot of different presets to play around with. It's nice to see them come out with a product like this that is nice and a workhorse. So hopefully this will last a long time, and hopefully I have no more surprises like I did with my last amplifier, where it dies out on me and they don't want to repair it. So we'll see on that regard. Realistically, only time will tell. Now I just gotta find a place to put this thing, because it's slightly larger than the amplifier, so it doesn't fit in the spot that I had it, which is why it's currently on the floor now. By the way, if you like this video, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned.